Rob Furman here, Senior Analyst from Cardozo Research. I'm here at the VRIC 2017. I'm here with Ivan Bebek, the Executive Chairman of Auryn Resources. Ivan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So we've survived a rather terrible last few years, and you're one of the exciting young guys, and it's funny that I would say young, but you're one of the young guys in the industry that everybody is looking for the next big discovery, and there's a lot of eyes following you and the Auryn story. So what I want to talk about is a little bit about why people are following you and what your past successes were.
Sure, you touched on the past couple of years being difficult. We actually sold our last company for $200 million in 2014, and the share price went from about 70 cents the year before to a sale price of about $3.80 per share in the middle of the bear market. And so I think the pain has been less for us, but the workload has certainly been there. We followed a success called Auryn Resources before Caden. That was our last company, and we did the second best thing initially, which was create a producing gold company from a discovery of 5 million ounces of gold. Caden and the sale in the bear market was something that we took some things we learned, and the big lesson there was to own the entire district, to own larger scale kind of properties. And so looking at those two successes, we came together with Auryn, and we had a tremendous ability to finance with our own money as well as investor money. And we went shopping in the bear market. And we didn't just go and look for really good assets. We actually went and we built one of the biggest technical teams in the entire world in terms of exploration, led by Michael Hendrickson.
Right.
And what he did was he got a lot of his colleagues from Newmont, and they were all global structural geologists or the heads of their departments in Newmont, and they all have different disciplines. So a geophysicist, a structural geologist, a mapper, a geochemist. They kind of operate like the Mayo Clinic would if you ever had the misfortune of going there,
right,
where you have like 8 or 9, in our case it's 11 specialists. They all apply a different layer of data, and then they go in and they come out with one result, which is, this is how we define our exploration targets. The second point I'll make is working with these gentlemen from a major, they've entire careers, they've moved the needle for a major. They've looked for something that would get the top brass of Newmont excited.
Right.
So when you start to work with these guys in a junior, these guys are being focused on what they used to look for in a major.
It's a different philosophy.
It's a different philosophy,
yeah,
but the size and scale of everything that we have is that of a major, and that's what's remarkable. We joke around internally, but it actually has become true, is we built a majors exploration portfolio in a junior with a majors exploration team, and that's really what's so exciting about Auryn. And we're about to take on the world's largest discovery drill program this year, and it'll be drilled in a record time in about 8 months of a period of a time.
Wow, that's really exciting. And that drill program is going to be in Nunavut.
It's going to start in Nunavut.
Okay.
It's going to start in Nunavut, and then it'll continue in British Columbia. That's actually will be drilled in the summer, but the initial drilling will actually start in about 2 months down in Peru. So a real quick overview of our portfolio. We have 6 projects.
Yes.
We have 2 high-grade gold projects in Canada. The Committee Bay Gold Project, it's a 300-kilometer long greenstone belt. There's been about 60 discoveries from one end to the belt to the other, with 1 million ounces or over 1 million ounces of 8 grams in the middle of the belt. Those 60 discoveries led us, with couple years of doing our work, the Newmont way per se, of coming up with 17 massive, huge targets that could really be major gold discoveries up in the north. Our second project is Homestake Resources, or Homestake Ridge, which was a company we bought out called Homestake Resources. This company is actually, or this asset is 1 million ounces of 9 grams per ton gold.
That's substantial.
It's very rich.
Yep.
It's 6 kilometers away from port. You could sell a concentrate. When I say these things, it means it'd be extremely low cost to build and extremely low cost to produce. We've put out metallurgical numbers on it because the one thing that I don't think was understood properly before us was the met and how they would extract the gold out of the rocks.
Is it refractory ore?
No, not at all. But the recoveries are remarkable.
Right.
You're looking at some of the concentrates that we'd be selling $12,000 a ton.
Wow.
So when you start talking about that value per ton, any mining engineer in the business can look at those numbers and see how we got there through the math.
Yeah.
But the recoveries are great because there's a lead concentrate and a copper concentrate. And the gentleman before us had mixed them together. We had separated them and we came out with these remarkable discoveries. But that is one factor of that project. It's in the Golden Triangle. It's where SK Creek is, and some Pretium, and some of the biggest discoveries out there in terms of grade. There was a glacier that has receded back over time, and the last holes drilled towards that glacier was about 73 meters of 21 grams per ton gold, which is the big discovery hole.
Right.
If we're fortunate enough to keep continuing holes like that, it's another kilometer to 2 kilometers of that strike length. There could be some massive discoveries as well. If you go in the southern portion of that property, you're heading to an area where they've already drilled the top of a silver system that will zone down to gold, then to gold and copper. So we're going to just go and drill beneath that, and we should be adding quite a few ounces there in the gold side in this summer. So we start in Peru, but Canada is high grade. It will be drilled simultaneously in the summer.
Okay.
In Peru, the word is endowment. There's 4 projects that we have there. The guy who's put together this portfolio for us, he's former Newmont. His name is Miguel Cardozo, and he was credited with the discovery of Yanacocha's 60 million ounce gold discovery.
It's a world-class asset.
World class. He was nominated to be the mine minister of Peru. He's a geologist. The mine minister is an economist, so it's less biased, but a huge advisor to the government. Incredibly advantageous for us, not just from a technical standpoint, finding one of the largest mines in the entire planet. The 4 projects that he led us to are his dream projects, the way he would build his portfolio. The reason why he's not doing it himself is because the team and the money raising ability, that's something we brought in, but the partnership is incredible. So him and Michael Henriksen and the rest of our Newmont team, they're all very common relationships, and we all work very well together. So that's the portfolio. We start with 10,000 meters in Peru. We do 27,000 meters in Canada at the same time, and then we finish with about another 8,000 to 10,000 meters in Peru in the fall. If we get into a major discovery in our first 2 Peruvian projects that we're going to drill in about April, we will take those 5,000 meter programs and they will just continue ongoing.
Of course, run with it. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And you just announced a strategic partnership with Gold Corp as well.
Yeah, this is a major compliment to all the excitement and the size of this portfolio and this massive drill program that we're about to undertake. Gold Corp bought in at a premium. They wrote a check for $35 million.
What did they pay?
They paid $367 per share.
$367, okay.
We were trading in the high 2s when the deal happened, about a 20-25% premium. They bought 12.5% of our company. Right now we have 76 million shares out post their investment.
That's very tight.
But management owns 19% or just under 19% of the company, and so we still have control as management, but I think Gold Corp, and they weren't the only one interested in financing us at the time. I think there's a lot of recognition that we've built this majors exploration portfolio, and if you follow some of the comments either from Gold Corp or we saw the other day with Sean Boyd at Agnico, there's very few quality assets out there, and there's a lot of majors, a lot of buyers of them on the larger scale, and so in the future, rolling out a year or 2 ahead, there's going to be, we think, a bit of a panic or a frenzy on these majors. If the gold price keeps going up, they're going to need to grow. And the growth is something that's been missing from them because of the bear market that we just came out of. So a remarkable investment. David's team at Gold Corp is extremely impressive. It's very nice to go into a transaction with a new partner that shares similar ideologies in terms of exploration and jurisdictions that we're in. And so I think the partnership is a great one, and kudos to them for recognizing the opportunity early to get ahead of this big drill program they're about to start.
It's really exciting stuff. Ivan, thanks for swinging by the booth. It was great having you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
My pleasure. Thank you.